Alright everybody, what's going on? This is Jose, of course. Welcome to episode, I think we're on episode 11 now, of the single player Let's Play series. So, in between episodes, I have, as you've seen in the beginning cutscene, or sort of cutscene that I did, we went ahead and got some of the fun stuff done. And now that we don't have to handle the creation of the MFE anymore, with the MFE installed and the generators have already fully powered it, so with that already handled, all I've got to do is basically move on with some fun IC2 electrical armor, probably. So give me just a minute to work on a few things, and I'll be back once we have everything handled. Alright, so I did some resource calculations, and I think we'll be in good shape. So what I want to do is I want to make a jetpack from simply jetpacks. It would be very, very nice to be able to make at least the lowest tier jetpack, because I usually... well, I haven't had the chance to make a jetpack in a very long time. In fact, I haven't used simply jetpacks on 110 yet, so this will be my first opportunity. And to avoid constantly taking fall damage, I want to make a pair of nano suit boots as well. It wouldn't be a bad idea to eventually make a full set of nano armor, but at least the boots would be a good place to start. So you can, of course, attach a jetpack to the armor now with this new attachment plate thing that was added by IC2. But the problem is that there's no way of actually disabling the jetpack once you have actually installed it onto a chest plate piece. Because as you can see, it actually automatically goes through and adds jetpack variants to all chest plate items, including the sleeping bag and other jetpacks. But like I said, the problem is that there's no way of disabling them, so you always end up flying. It's actually very annoying. So, oh, and the advanced backpack even, that's neat. So what I'd like to do is just do a normal jetpack. In fact, I wonder if the... No, it doesn't look like the capacitor packs have been implemented yet, which is fine, I guess. It does kind of make me sad, but that's okay. So we'll do a jetpack or nano boots. So the nanosuit boots are going to require 4 carbon plates. Each carbon plate requires 8 of these, so we're going to need to get 32 pieces of coal to get shredded up into coal dust. So we're going to run up here to the crusher that we have and just go ahead and toss in our half a stack and let that process while we're busy working on some other stuff. So we're also going to need an energy crystal, and I happen to have 9 more energium dust ready. And now let's take a look at the jetpack. The jetpack doesn't seem like it's going to be too incredibly difficult. Yeah, I honestly feel like most of that's going to be relatively reasonable to get a hold of. But I'll go ahead and take this energy crystal and go downstairs. I painted the travel anchors, by the way. So we've got our travel anchors painted with glowstone underneath this one to make it bright enough in here. So we'll go and take this energy crystal and charge it up while we're waiting for that coal to finish. Oops, that's interesting. My resource pack doesn't seem to have the resources for some of the partially charged energy crystals. I wonder why. That's a little bit curious, I've got to admit. But an energy crystal stores a quarter of the amount of energy that is contained inside of an MFE. So, and now you can see it changed back. That's kind of funny. It seems like it's just missing some of the middle tier metadata. That's fine. And so at this point, hopefully, fingers crossed here, our coal dust is done. Yes, it is. So the coal dust, if we just do a 2x2, we can take it here, and that gets us our 4 raw carbon mesh from our carbon fibers. And we'll throw these, I should get that, into the compressor, and they will be compressed down into our singular carbon plates. So each one of these will turn into 1 of our carbon plates. And so now I want to take the time to look at the conductive iron jetpack. We'll just do iron. That works. So the iron jetpack looks like it's going to require a leather strap, which is 4 pieces of leather and how much iron? Was that 2 pieces of iron? Yeah. So we'll kind of use this as the crafting station where we keep everything together as we go. So it looks like we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 conductive iron. And conductive iron is just iron and redstone, right? Yes, it is. Okay, so we'll need 8 of you and 8 of you, and we'll just run up here to our lovely alloy smelter and ask that to cook up while we work on making our boots. So the boots will not completely negate our fall damage, but it will definitely help. So we will go ahead and toss these together, and boom, a pair of nano suit boots. So I don't actually know how well they do against fall damage, so we're just gonna have to go find out. Yeah, okay. That's pretty great. I hope I don't end up falling any higher than that, because I really don't think I ever have to. Let me just recharge that a little bit a bit. There we go. And so, let me see how we're doing. We're going to need, let me see how many capacitors we're going to need. We're going to need, here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need 5 of the capacitors, and then I actually need another piece of redstone alloy, which I believe is, yeah, that's not bad. So we will do this, no, that. There we are. So I think we might actually be doing alright at this point. We're going to need a few pieces of copper, some gold. How many of these did I say I needed? 5? So that means I'll need another gold nugget, 20 pieces of redstone, and there's our 5 basic capacitors. We also need conduit binder. Good thing I made lots of that. That will get us 8 insulated redstone cable, which is plenty, and then we just need some sticks. I need, how many of these? I need 4 of those, so let me think. Do I have everything that I need? I might actually. So this was 2 of those, 2 of those, 2 of those, and boom. Excellent. So we'll put those there, and these here, and that there, and that gets us our conductive iron jetpack. So to upgrade this, it looks like we're just going to need some electrical steel. So I'm kind of considering going ahead. Oh. Never mind, this suddenly got expensive. I guess that's part of the upside of the balancing parts that I did, because I was thinking, okay, well, you know, a little bit imbalanced, but whatever, I'll take it. But no, definitely balanced still, because for me to move to this, I'm going to need plenty of steel, which I am currently not doing so hot on. So let me get another half a stack of steel cooking, and I think I'm actually out of coal in my coke oven as well. Yeah, so let's do that, and that on those slow cooking machines. And so now, we don't have really a whole lot of flight, but it's something. And this is why I wanted to make the boots too, because if I fall too far, they'll help reduce some, but you see, like there, I still took a decent bit of damage. So, it's important to have a little something, but definitely these nanosuit boots won't do everything for me. So, I'm going to take a little bit of time to let this steel cook up, and then we'll come back when it's done and maybe look into making the next tier of jetpack, because that would be pretty handy dandy if you ask me, I think. Alright, so I've done the math, and I've done a little bit of waiting, and I think we're just about ready here to make the steel that or rather, the machine chassis that we need. So we needed 4 machine chassis, so we will need a little bit more gold again. And now, let's see. Excuse me. It looks like, rain, again. Oh well. Actually, if we're making 4, then we can just do, I'm going to need, let me think. Yeah, that'll work. We've eaten through almost an entire stack of iron. Can you believe that? That's pretty ridiculous. I went ahead and made the other capacitors that we're going to need, though. So that gets us our 4 machine chassis. We need some energy conduit. Do I have any plain energy conduit? I think I just made enhanced. Well, we'll just have to make some plain. No big deal. And I will bring my conduit binder with me. So I don't know about you guys, but I kind of like the design of the house a lot. But let me know what you guys think, if you think I should move some stuff, because I feel like the IC2 setup might be a little out of place, but I'm not sure if it's just me who feels that way or not. Tell me what you think, or how do you think I should set up my storage, because refined storage is definitely within the realm of possibilities, but we also need to consider the fact that I would like to do something in between refined storage and just some plain chests. So I wouldn't mind considering an option somewhat like, we need electrical steel. Poop. I didn't think about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's not bad. But, yeah, so I haven't really considered many options beyond those 2, but if you have other ideas for how I could do storage, I've never actually done RF tool storage before, so if you really think I should do that, let me know. I might. In fact, I probably will, because it sounds like fun to just get in there and kind of learn. We'll set this to furnace mode. I know I've got the electric furnace downstairs, but later this episode I plan on upgrading that. So I changed this up in between episodes. I actually went through and added another wireless RF transmitter, not only here, but here as well, just to kind of help keep these fully charged if possible. Oh, furnace mode. Right. There we go. So we'll get the electrical steel cooking up. Fortunately, this doesn't take very long with this nice high-speed capacitor. But yeah, that's another reason why I wouldn't mind possibly changing the setup, is these wireless RF transmitters are okay, but they don't actually transfer energy very efficiently, as you can see. So I wouldn't mind actually having a proper conduit setup where I've got conduits sending high rates of power across the board. But I can't necessarily validate that with the setup that I have going on here, and with the fact that I've got these IC2 machines here too, so the wiring for those is going to kind of get in the way. So, what do you guys think? Actually, I changed my mind. I'm going to craft this over here just for convenience, and I forgot to bring some redstone. I've also used an entire stack of redstone or so. That's a little bit ridiculous. And so at this point, all I'm missing is the jet plate. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So this is the tier 2. Whoops. Let's see how it does. Because at this point, the next jetpack is the energetic jetpack. So this one is definitely a lot faster at moving, and it's also doing a little better on my energy. As you can see up there, I've actually only dropped down 3% in my distance here, whereas the last one I had dropped down by like about 10%. My favorite is still, of course, going to be the, whatever, I think it's the, which one is it? Is it, Vibrant? There we go. This one is still going to be my favorite jetpack just because they let you fly so quickly. Because my forward flight here is still a little bit slow. But all in all, this is still better than nothing. So I think I'm going to go ahead and call that a day as far as the jetpacks go, but I still want to do some other stuff this episode, of course. So in between episodes, like you saw me record, this area here with this MFE has a MV and LV transformer. I would like to get all of our machines upgraded to MV, including the electric furnace, getting it upgraded to a induction furnace. So the induction furnace is actually not terribly difficult. It's going to use some more steel, but as it happens, we've got some cooking right upstairs. And in fact, we probably have more than enough. Yep, we have 5. I only needed 4. So we can actually use our machines here to get ourselves what we need. So we need, in rolling mode, let's get 4 steel plates, because I want to make this today. We're going to need 3 pieces of bronze, 3 pieces of tin, 3 pieces of iron, and we're going to need the forge hammer, so we will just do 3, 3, and 3. We also need 16 pieces of coal to go into the crusher. Alright, so we have our 4 steel plates. We're going to need, let's see, I think I remember the order for this. Yeah, I sure do actually, dang. We're going to need to compress those. We are going to need 8 more iron plates. Whoops, that. And then turn these into a machine casing. And then that's going to use 4 steel plates. And then if I run upstairs and get the coal, that should be pretty close to done. Yep, done. And now, turn that back into more carbon mesh. And compress that. So we have our 2 advanced alloys, 4 steel plates, a basic machine casing, raw carbon mesh, and now we're going to take our ejector upgrades out of this, bring this guy with us, because we're also going to use him in our recipe. We're going to need 7 copper as well. At this point, we just have to wait. And there we are. Yay! So there's our advanced machine casing, and if we put that here, then this gives us our induction furnace, which is tier 2 of power. Now if we look at the other machines we have here, like our compressor or our extractor, you'll see that these are power tier 1, which means they only accept LV, but this guy will automatically accept MV. So I can hook it up to LV with no problem, of course. And fortunately, they actually get to still use their pulling and ejector upgrades. Did not know this. This was actually pretty neat. And it's currently got a pretty decent power buffer, and the heat is set to 0 because these require a redstone signal to run unless you have one of the redstone signal inverter upgrades. And I don't. So the tricksy way of doing this is okay, it's not tricksy, it's just creative. There's actually nothing about this that isn't like even vanilla Minecraft, to be honest. You can do this in native IC2. Is if I take a lever and put it, follow me here. This would be the backside of the induction smelter. Rather, this would power the induction smelter furnace. So if I put this here and power it on, it should climb, I hope. Yeah, there we go. Because this block is being powered. See, as the one probe tells you, it has a power of 15, and that's being sent over to the induction furnace. And we don't even see it. So, while the redstone inverter card would be useful there, there's only 2 upgrade slots, and I would like to use them for pulling and pushing. That being said, once this thing gets going, the smelting speed is absolutely ludicrous, and I absolutely love it. So if I do something like this, it can cook 2 items at once, and as you can tell, it's not really particularly impressive as far as that speed goes, but it's only at 9% speed. Each percent of speed, it will progressively get faster and faster and faster, and eventually it'll get to the point where it's just stupidly fast. So at this point, I need 5 more, because I would like to convert all of this to low voltage. So at this point, I'm going to need 4 more transformer upgrades. And these transformer upgrades are not too terrible to make. So 4 more of these, each one is going to use a basic machine casing. So we're going to need 40 pieces of iron. No, 4 more, I'll just need 32. Whoops. Sorry. I've been doing math all day, believe it or not, so that's part of why I'm generally just so terrible at math. As a computer science student, the math is constantly pushed on us. I actually need to go to our rubber tree farm and tap some trees. Because unfortunately we're running low on rubber. The tree farm is doing excellent ever since I've decided to keep it on apple oak saplings. So I think that's just about all of these, and don't forget the extractor will triplicate our outcome here. So anything that we have now, if we multiply that by 3, is what we'll get in rubber in the end. So we'll end up with a little bit over a stack, I think. Yeah. Ooh, hey, another one. Yay. Where'd you go? Oh, there you are. The item entities from these still glitch out sometimes. I find that very funny. I don't know why. What are we at for percentage? 37. It's not bad. So of course there are other blast furnace options too that I haven't really mentioned. There's actually a blast furnace from Industrial Craft. But I'm just not a big fan of it. It requires a lot of time and effort, and compared to the blast furnace from Immersive Engineering, which only requires time, it's really just kind of quite the big pain in the butt. So, transformer upgrade. Where was I on that? I need to make, let's see, 8 cables. It's actually not so bad. I think I already have most of what I need for that to make our MV transformers. And then we're going to need, okay, so we need 4 electronic circuits. I don't need this steel or this coal coke anymore. 4 electronic circuits means we're going to need that. We're going to need 8 of these. We'll just put this into the rolling machine for now because we have to wait anyways. We're going to need 8 of these. Just come on over here and hammer it up. I actually don't need to turn one of these into cabling. That's convenient. Oh yeah, I forgot. One of the kind of funny side effects of having the apple oak trees is the fact that I now have butterflies randomly. So I think that's a sign that I should get into bees soon. It's rain again? Really? Okay. Oh yeah, I also changed my bed out to a cyan bed from Quark. And of course, my texture, or the resource pack that I made has got these implemented, and I think it just got pushed, or rather the pull request just got accepted for Unity, so hopefully if you use Unity then you should see those textures sooner or later, I think. I'm not actually completely certain about that. And there we go. That should get me exactly what I need for my electronic circuits. Beautiful. And now at this point I just need oodles of glass. So I will need 20 pieces of glass. And I will need 8 pieces of gold cable. And there we go. We have our 4 transformer upgrades. So now each one of these machines can now accept medium voltage. Keep in mind that because of the recent power tier changes in industrial craft, the MFE actually outputs high voltage. That used to be the MFSU, but is now the MFE. So just bear that in mind if you're ever considering your power tiers for industrial craft, now that they do matter and you will receive explosions. Is that it's very important to remember the fact that the power tiers have changed. It didn't used to matter if you remember the power tiers changing or not, because the voltages would not cause explosions, but now they do. So we're going from HV to MV to LV, but we just put transformer upgrades and everything, making all of our machines tier 2 power, which is MV. So we can remove this, and now we can use this. And ideally, nothing has completely exploded upstairs. I was correct. We are in good shape. So now if I ever remove these while these machines are running, we will have a big problem. But we are getting MV into the induction furnace too, which is not a huge deal, but it's very good, very beneficial. So yeah, give me just a minute to take a look and see kind of what my game plan will be next according to how the time's looking. Perfect. So it looks like between the time lapse from the beginning of this episode and then everything we've gotten done so far, it looks like this is actually a good point to call it quits for the episode, but we have gotten quite a good bit done. Next episode I actually want to get some solar distillers set up, because I would really like to make distilled water so that we can make overclocker upgrades much more cheaply, because my lapis supply is okay, but it's not ridiculous. So I'll probably do plenty of mining in between episodes again, because I've narrowed down a lot of my iron. My tin and copper is actually stored in blocks down here too, so don't really worry about that. I'm doing okay there. But definitely not doing so hot on iron, so I should probably make another spelunking trip or two and get a few other things done in between episodes. I might go ahead and make the solar distillers and set them up in another video montage, because it's honestly kind of not very interesting. So I will go ahead and call it quits here, like I said, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.